lobster. And you see them lined up in the fish shops, lobsters and crabs, bright red, ready for people to come along and have a great meal, once you can get through that hard outer coat. The trouble is, people who've only seen them like that tend to think that crabs and lobsters and yabbies and other crustaceans are bright red in life, and they're not. This bright red only comes when they're cooked. Living, they're really quite different colours, and very beautiful colours too. Let me show you with a live one that size. Here we are. Well, they're very spiky and they're very flippy, but if he can calm down enough, you can compare his colouring with this one here. You notice it really is very different indeed. It's a dark and beautiful maroon, and the legs are really yellowy orange. And there are subtle patterns in there that you don't see in the cooked red variety. They're very lovely. And if you look at crabs, they're different colours as well. Some of them, even under all their camouflage, are a browny grey colour. Others a bright blue. And even little shrimps that you find swimming around in rock pools are quite transparent, but do have little spots of bright colour on their surface. Everywhere you look at crustaceans, they're living colours, not the bright red. So how does the cooked one turn bright red? Well, in this hard outer coat that we were talking about are little coloured cells, and they can expand in size. Normally, a crustacean has 3 or 4 different kinds. So if all the purple ones are expanded and the red ones are contracted, it'll be a deep purple. If all the green and blue ones are expanded and the red is contracted, it'll be greeny blue. When the things are boiled, the greens and the blues and the browns are all destroyed by heat. It's only the red that remains, and all those cells expand. So the result is a lobster that's changed colour, gone to red, and all the other pigments are disguised. That's why they all look bright red. It's rather like an autumn leaf. Once the green colour goes in a dying leaf, the yellows and the browns and the reds that were there all the time are allowed to show. You just couldn't see them behind the green. Well, this one doesn't like being out of water, so I'll put it back in and you can watch it as it trundles away. Well, back to the cooked variety. Really, I suppose that outer coat warrants a bit of attention as well. King Henry VIII was a very fat king, and as he grew, he had to throw away his old suits of armour that didn't fit anymore. And they're still preserved. You can see them in the Tower of London if you go to England. But it meant that as he grew, he just shed coat after coat, and each one was bigger. And the same thing is true of things like the lobster. As they grow, they have to throw off this hard outer protection, grow a bit, and then secrete a new one. And so if you find a lobster of that size, or like the one I just put back, you would find it left behind, somewhere along the line, this. Now it looks like a dead lobster, but it's not. It's very light, completely empty, and there's always a telltale sign just here, where the chest part meets the tail part. It's a hole, and the live lobster came out of that, leaving this coat behind. And of course, as they grow, they keep shedding bigger and bigger ones, like Henry VIII, until in the end you can have absolute giant exoskeletons, that's what they're called, left behind by the largest lobsters of all. The one that left this behind is still growing and will leave an even bigger one. Once again, the opening there tells you it's an exoskeleton thrown away, not a dead lobster. And the other crustaceans do it too. This crab has left an exoskeleton that's falling apart now, but if I lift up this back section, you can see the telltale sign that shows you a crab once lived in there has emerged to grow bigger. But don't forget, when you see the bright red ones, the living ones have a charm all of their own. Cheers. Curiosity.